Hello everyone and welcome to Tarot for Manifesting. My name is Caitlin and I'm going to be performing this reading for you guys today. And today's message is going to be directed to those of you who are on the manifesting journey. And we're just going to be seeing what exactly it is that you need to hear at this time. So for those of you that don't know, at the very beginning of these readings, I have no idea what the actual messages are that are going to come out. But then once they do come out at the end, that's how we title the video. Excuse me. And yeah, how we find you guys. So Spirit, for those that clicked on this video today, they're on the manifesting journey. What messages do they need to hear at this time? For those on the manifesting journey, please, Spirit, what messages do they need to hear at this time? Okay, the Six of Cups we're starting off with. Spirit, what messages do those on the manifesting journey need to hear at this time? Those that clicked on this video. We have the King of Swords. We have the Emperor. We have the Death card. Spirit, for those that clicked on this video, we have the Hanged Man. We have Judgment. Four of Coins. And we have the World. Okay. And underneath the deck for your overall energy here, we have Queen of Cups. Okay, let me just sit with this for a moment. Okay. We have the World and we have the Death card together here. So it feels like right now, especially with Judgment as well, Judgment is number 20 and then number 21 is the World. So these are the very last cards of the major arcana, which is kind of signaling the end of a chapter. Okay, we have the Death card here as well. This makes me feel like a lot of times when we're on the manifesting journey, we're kind of shedding layers, you know? We're shedding layers of our old beliefs. And in shedding layers of our old beliefs, we're also kind of shedding layers of ourselves. And it looks to me, we have the Four of Coins in between the World and Judgment here. So it looks to me like you are ready to level up. You're ready to kind of shed this layer and kind of move into the next phase of beliefs, the next phase of vibration on your way to your manifestation. With this Four of Coins here, it feels like what you're currently moving out of is a place where you've been stuck. We have the Hanged Man here as well. The Hanged Man and the Four of Coins, both of these are cards that really talk about kind of stagnancy, you know, and being kind of hanging out on one level. And that's what I'm kind of feeling here is this may be a level that you have been trying to transcend or trying to surpass for a really long time. But it's just kind of hooked you, you know, this energetic level that we've been stuck at. It's just kind of hooked you and you've been maintaining that frequency maybe no matter how hard you have tried to get rid of it, right? But now we're coming up on the actual shedding of that layer. And I feel like you're gonna know when this is happening because you feel different, right? Which is the whole point of shifting frequencies, is we want to feel different. We want to feel better. But for so long, we're kind of hanging out at this vibration of, I want to feel better. I don't feel good now, but I want to feel better, or kind of trying to force yourself at the vibration that you're currently at to feel better at that vibration. And it's just, it kind of keeps us stuck. It keeps us stagnant here. But with the death energy here, there has been you have been doing enough work with the Emperor. The Emperor is a very hard worker, okay? It feels like you have been doing enough work, manifesting work, maybe visualizing, meditating, whatever it is, whatever the work is that you've been doing, maybe the constant correcting of thoughts, bringing yourself back to center. You've been doing that enough, and you've been maintaining it enough, and you've been consistent enough to the point where now things are changing, okay? With the Death card here, this is a transformation, and you may be able to kind of feel yourself slipping into that vibration already, that vibration of not having to try so hard. You know, that's kind of when it feels real, is when we feel like we don't have to try so hard to manifest, or we don't feel like we have to force ourselves to sit down and do the meditations. It's always good to do meditations, but we don't feel so forceful about it, and that kind of energy of desperation has sort of dissolved, and we can sort of just feel ourselves going about our daily life with a lot more relaxation, a lot more chill, but we still are welcoming in the manifestation, you know? So this does feel like a really, really big transformation out of a period that you have been stuck in for a while. It's coming, okay? It's coming. Yeah, with the world energy here, this is the end of an entire cycle. And you have the Queen of Cups as the overall energy, which I really, really love, because the Queen of Cups is really this depth of emotion. And what this signals to me is that your emotional state has been changing, you know? You have changed and tuned your emotional state kind of really consistently, time and time and time again. You've tuned it up, you've tuned it up, you've tuned it up. And it's paying off. One of my favorite combinations to get in a reading is the King of Swords and the Queen of Cups. I really love these two coming out together because to me it signals this kind of perfect balance, right? And that's what we want, is a perfect equal balance of kind of masculine and feminine energies when we're on the manifesting journey. Because the King of Swords is very masculine based, so it's very logical, very rational, very clear-minded, okay? And with this King of Swords energy here, this makes me feel like this is kind of the consistency that's been coming through with you cleaning up your thoughts, you know, you putting in the work and cleaning up the thoughts that you allow yourself to think. You've been noticing whenever you've maybe gained momentum in a negative direction or in a direction that's kind of the opposite of what you want. And you've been able to kind of pick up on that and then replace it with something else, you know, notice when you're doing it and shift your attention, shift your focus to the point where it's been really consistent. And then we all know that it originates with a thought first, right? When we're manifesting our feeling space, it originates with a thought, and then that thought kind of cultivates this feeling with the Queen of Cups here. And so it feels like you have been really putting in the work, the time, the energy to clean up your mind, to watch maybe the kind of content that you consume, to be very, very clear about this is what I want, and these are the thoughts that resonate with that, and these are the thoughts that don't. And then just sort of doing that work of cleaning it up and shedding away the stuff that doesn't resonate. And what you're left with this Queen of Cups here is a vibration that is significantly higher than the one that you, let's say, have been used to vibrating at. And it feels like with the Queen of Cups and the King of Swords here, you've become so used to that positive vibration now. Or let's say, I don't even want to say positive vibration, but more so just this vibration of already having your manifestation, or whatever that next step is in getting your manifestation, right? You've really become attuned to that. And now it's getting easier and easier for you to notice whenever your mind kind of, whenever you start to feel off of that vibration. You know what I mean? So what this is telling me here is that we've reached a tipping point. You have reached a tipping point. Whereas you were trying before to gain momentum, to elevate your frequency, to try and improve your mood, try and improve your thoughts. You know, you gained enough momentum here. You were consistent and you kept up at it enough. And now it's paying off. You know, you're already at that kind of higher vibrational level. And to me, this feels like, okay, well now let's celebrate that we're here, right? Now we feel like we can relax, we can enjoy, and just kind of settle into that relaxed feeling that tells us that the manifestation is on its way. And we believe it very simply, very easily. Whereas before, maybe there was a lot of resistance, and there still may be a little resistance in some, places or others. But for the most part, you have really elevated your vibration here, and Spirit has noticed that, okay? And the scales have tipped, and now you have shifted timelines. It feels like you have shifted energetic timelines. With the Six of Cups in the World here, it feels like you have ended a lot of, it could be past life traumas or kind of childhood situations that have planted these, programmed these beliefs in your mind. With the World energy here, it's like this is the end of a cycle. Could be a very, very long cycle with the Six of Cups here. But you have reached the end of that cycle of those thoughts controlling your actions in whatever area of your life this is. And so now this is a period of celebration. We can celebrate, we can relax, we can enjoy, and we can start looking even further. I mean, stay obviously present, stay grateful, stay appreciative of the present moment and where you're at right now. But this also means, like, okay, if your manifestation is kind of many different steps, right? If we're doing it properly, then hopefully it already is, a few different actionable small steps, right? So you've already kind of shifted your vibration to this, let's say, the next step forward, right? And this is Spirit saying you have accomplished that. The weight has been lifted, or the scales have been tipped, is what I mean to say. And now you're at that level of vibration. Okay, so what's next? What can we look forward to next? And it kind of just gets easier and easier after that. And in particular, when we overcome this very hump that you're overcoming here, which is, these old programs. These are kind of the most difficult ones to overcome. When we finally overcome that feeling of feeling like we have to force it, feeling like we have to sit down and force ourselves to feel good, or sit down and work really, really, really hard, otherwise it's not going to come. When we have transcended that, and now we're in a more of a clear-headed space of, okay, I've got it, it's coming to me, I don't have to worry about it, Spirit's got my back, it's all good, and we actually feel like that, and we actually mean it, there's just so much of a pressure lifted off. We know that we're going to be taken care of no matter what, and so we just relax. That is kind of the most difficult hump to get over, and you have gotten over it. Or if it feels like you haven't just yet, this is Spirit saying, just lean into it, relax your grip, release, and you'll be there before you know it, because it is right here for you, okay? It is right here for you. And once you've kind of stayed in that area for a little while, then we can look beyond, like I said, at that next step. What comes next, What's next on the journey for us? What do we want to start manifesting again? But that part of the journey will come even more easily because you've already kind of transcended this resistance into a more relaxed state. And in particular, these old programs that have been the most difficult to overcome. So now it's just like you've kind of shifted out and everything is in easy mode now, you know? Enjoy easy mode for a bit, and then Spirit saying, and then you can kind of open up to the next step on the journey, and it's going to be that much easier. So really, really well done here. I do want to get some Rose Oracle messages for you before we close out. So, messages of the Rose, what do you have for our viewers today? For those who clicked on this video, we have the crowning, initiation, thresholds, birth, rebirth, and a seat at the table. A seat at the table I really love here, because I feel like this is kind of all we need to close out here. I really love seeing that seat at the table, because with this old programming here, with the Six of Cups, it could be that your old programming, I mean, many times in manifestation, it is about kind of self-worth, whether or not we belong at the table, we're smart enough, we're rich enough, we're experienced enough, etc., to earn a seat at the table. But this birth and rebirth here, this is you kind of, like I said, kind of stepping into this vibration that already knows that you deserve a seat at the table. You know, you are moving through a threshold here. You're shifting timelines, like I said, from one vibration to another. And this is just the very beginning, you know, this is the initiation. So as I said, if you're not feeling it, let's say like right away, like right this second, this is Spirit saying you can relax. You can take a breath and you can relax, because it's so, so close. Okay, you're kind of shifting into this and this relaxation. It could be that you wake up one morning and then you're just like, that's interesting. Like, I don't feel that push. I don't feel that need to go, go, go. I feel like I can just relax a little bit. That's kind of how it happens, is that subtle energetic shift, you know, where we just feel like the pressure has been taken off and we feel like we're going to be taken care of, and we can chill. You know, that's kind of how that is experienced most of the time. It's very rarely, I feel personally, like an intellectual knowing and then we get it. It's more so just a feeling state that we kind of shift into. And if you haven't already, this is Spirit saying you're coming up on it really quick. Okay, so just relax, trust the process. Okay. So that is all that I have for you guys. I really do hope that this was helpful for you. Please feel free to leave a comment if it was. And if you enjoyed this video and you would like to see more tarot readings, specifically for those of you on the manifesting journey and what guidance Spirit has for you at that time, I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So please feel free to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Okay?